Hello and welcome to my WWE Money in the Bank 2017 predictions video. Now, in this video, I'm going to do a few things. First of all, I'm going to let you know, obviously, who I think is going to win each match and why in the Money in the Bank pay-per-view that's coming up this evening. Also, I'm going to be discussing and showing who the WWE 2K17 video game thought would win when I simulated all the matches, and those matches have gone up over the last couple of days, so if you want to check those out, make sure you do. They're on this channel. I'm also going to do something a little bit different, because there's only 5 matches. I have a little bit of an idea for sort of like a fantasy booking that I don't think will happen, so it's not really a prediction, but I think it'd be really fun if WWE did it. I don't think they will, but I'll discuss that with you as well. So, let's get on with the fantasy booking first, I think we'll do. Just because it's something a little bit different. Before I do, though, don't forget to leave your predictions for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think will happen and why. Let's have a bit of a discussion. Right, let me grab my notes. So there are 5 matches at Money in the Bank 2017 that have been announced. There might be a pre-show match and maybe even a main card match that's yet to be announced, so I think they're just going to give the Money in the Bank matches quite a long time, which would be good. But there's the men's Money in the Bank match, there's Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, there's the women's Money in the Bank match, there's the Usos versus the New Day for the tag team titles, and there's Naomi versus Lana for the women's title. Now let me just again mention, I don't think this is going to happen. This would just be fantasy booking on my part, and I think it'd be pretty good fun. Now, there's something that happened. Let me take you back it was a good minimum month ago, when Rusev appeared on SmackDown via video, and said he wanted a WWE title shot at Money in the Bank, or he wasn't coming to SmackDown. Yes? Remember this? So, this is what it all revolves around, because they haven't really mentioned it that I've seen since. Now, I don't watch week in, week out, because I actually can't watch Raw and SmackDown as they happen. I don't have the correct TV channel in the UK. I'm not paying all that money just for those 2 shows per week. So if I want to watch it on the network, it's a few weeks behind. So I just kind of keep up with the results. But I haven't seen mention of Rusev at all. And I think they basically dropped that story. Either that or forgot all about it and it was too late to do anything about it. But what if that was what they wanted us to think? And they wanted us to think they'd completely forgotten about Rusev. And Money in the Bank tonight turns into the Rusev show. And what I mean by that is, first of all, he cost Naomi the Women's Championship and gives it to Lana. He interrupts the match, distracts Naomi. Lana gets that new move she's done, that she's just introduced, on Naomi. And bam, wins. Rusev causing a stir. Everyone knows he's there. Then everyone's like, oh, what's up with this? Next, I don't think there's much reason for him to get involved in the Usos versus the New Day. That match can go down however it wants to go down. Probably not the women's Money in the Bank match either, even though it pertains to Lana. Maybe the women's Money in the Bank match goes on first, so, you know, it's after Rusev and Lana are standing tall over Naomi as well, it gives them a reason not to cash in on the same night, because why would you when Rusev's there as well? Then we get on to the 2 men's main events, which I think he could potentially interfere in Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, probably attacking both men, because he's looking like he's going to come in heel, so it doesn't make sense for him to side with Orton. But at the same time, before he was injured, he had a falling out with Jinder, and Jinder's kind of taken what he thinks is... He's got what should be his shot at Money in the Bank at the title, but, you know, he's got his, like, top foreign bad guy spot. I mean, they're obviously not going to allude to that, but you know what I mean. So, there's plenty of reason for him to hate both guys. So, potentially, he could just cause a no contest in that match. And Jinder would retain without Orton taking another loss to him. So it's just one way of doing things. And then finally, he could actually, at an opportune moment when everyone is down, come down to the Money in the Bank match and do something that I've never seen. It's never happened, which is someone who's not in the match to win a ladder match. Because the only rule is you have to get down the prize above the ring. So he can't be disqualified or dismissed as the winner because he completed the task required in the match, if that makes sense. Kind of like the hardcore title 24/7 rule. Quite often, the winner of the match wasn't in the match at the start. Well, this could happen with a Money in the Bank ladder match, and Rusev could come in, maybe take everyone out with a ladder or something, or if everyone's already pretty much taken each other out, just the stragglers, and then, or maybe, Shinsuke is just about to, for example, just about to grab the briefcase, or AJ is, or someone is, and Rusev tips him off the ladder, lifts the ladder back up, climbs up, and takes down the briefcase and proclaims himself Mr. Money in the Bank. That can lead to a feud that was rumoured with Shane anyway, over the fact that Shane didn't give him the title match he wanted, and that could potentially end up being like a match where Shane takes on Rusev, and if Rusev loses, he has to hand over the Money in the Bank briefcase and can't use it, and stuff like that. So they can go that way with it. But I think it'd be great entertainment. I really like Rusev. I think Rusev is pretty much capable of doing whatever they ask him to. But he's best as like this rampaging, dominant monster heel. So to take him back to that, why not have him involved in 3 matches out of the 5 and just run roughshod over the show? And just be like, this is my show. I demanded a title match. Why have you not even had the courtesy to say no? Like, you just didn't acknowledge it at all. Well, here I am. Deal with it. And I think that'd be great fun. Anyway, let me know what you think of that idea in the comment section down below. I'm sure some people hate it, some people might like it. Just let me know. Let me know if you've got any better ideas for what they can do with this Rusev storyline that just seems to have disappeared. For me, the worst thing they can do is just bring him back in another storyline and never acknowledge it on TV. Like, that's the worst thing they can do. The most likely sort of safe course of action would be for him to come back and just go straight into that feud with Shane and just be like, why did you not bother with me? And then Shane can be like, well, you're under contract to SmackDown, so you have to perform. And then they can lead to a match where Rusev's contract's up for grabs, and if Rusev wins, he gets a title shot, or he either gets a title shot or to leave and go back to Raw. And if Shane wins, then whatever they want to do, that kind of thing. So that's the safe way I could see them going if they even acknowledge the story ever happened. But I really like my way, obviously, because I came up with it. So let me know what you think of that. Anyway, on to the actual predictions for the show. What I think will happen, not what I would love to happen. So I'm going to start with the women's title match, just because on WWE.com it was listed in order: Money in the Bank male, WWE title, Money in the Bank female, tag titles, women's title, which is roughly most important to least important. There's a bit of manoeuvring, but in terms of how they've been booking the show, I can see that. So I'm going to work bottom to top, so I'll finish on a crescendo with the men's Money in the Bank match. So, I think, personally, Naomi's going to retain. Now, obviously, with Lana being just brand new and thrown in, they might want to put the spotlight on her, but her being brand new and just thrown in, and I know she's been wrestling on the NXT house show circuit, hasn't she, getting her practicing, but she's an unproven commodity. I don't think you put the title on her in this match. Maybe at some point you do, but right now I don't think you do. They might do it for the shock value, but I honestly think Naomi's going to retain the title here. I think Lana winning on SmackDown, if you like, standing tall on SmackDown is a good indicator as well that it's not going to go well for her on the pay-per-view. I just think all signs point to Naomi winning. This is the sort of match, though, that they might just swerve us for the sake of swerving us and give it to Lana. But I'm going with Naomi. And the game, WWE 2K17, agreed. The game had Naomi win the simulation as well. Obviously against the creator superstar Lana, because Lana is only in the game as a manager. You can't actually have her fight. I think this creator superstar actually had Rusev's moveset, if I remember rightly, so that was fun. Okay, next match. And don't forget, in the comment section, let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with, what your predictions are, all that good stuff. I want to get this conversation going down there, so go ahead, post your thoughts. The next match we're going to do is going to be the tag title match at Usos versus New Day. I'm going with the champions again on this one. I'm going with the Usos to retain. I feel like, and I listened to a few wrestling podcasts, and I can't remember which one it was I listened to, but someone put it well when they said New Day have basically come over from Raw and walked straight into the tag title scene on SmackDown. If they, not only have they leapfrogged all the teams on SmackDown and sort of demeaned them, but if they then go and win the titles first try, without any effort really, without a struggle, that just belittles the entire SmackDown tag title scene, which I agree with. That's not my reasoning. I think they will win the tag titles. I just feel like this isn't a 1 month feud, and I think they can get a bit more entertainment out of it, and I think they could probably stretch it to SummerSlam for New Day to actually win the titles. That's only Money in the Bank plus one more pay-per-view before SummerSlam. So I think they could stretch it to, 3 matches. So I think the Usos are going to win here. Probably underhanded because they're going to want the New Day to look strong. The Usos might not even actually win the match. The Usos might get disqualified or something like that. Or the New Day might get disqualified, so the Usos win the match, but not by actually pinning the New Day. Something like that. I don't know. But I feel like the Usos are going to retain here. And the game, once again, actually agreed with me. But don't worry, because I always have a little bit of a competition between me and the game on who can get the most right. That's the last match. So the first 2 matches we might agree, but that's the last time we agree on the winner. So, so it's going to get a little bit more interesting when we go back to the review and we see who's a better predictor, me or the game. So, yeah, both myself and the game believe the Usos are going to win that match. Now, on to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I struggled. I like this pay-per-view because on quite a few of these, I was like, well, Lana could win it. I could viably see that. And obviously, who bets against the New Day after their run on Raw? So there's a lot of up in the air results, and I think that continues throughout the whole card. And the women's Money in the Bank match isn't any different. I could see Natalya winning it. I could. I don't think she will. I don't think she's ever going to be back in that spot as far as real WWE is concerned. I feel like they feel like some of the newer ones that have come up are just better in that spot, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think Natalya is one of the best wrestlers in the company, certainly female. So I think she's a bit hard done to personally, but hey ho. Right, I'm going to eliminate some people. I don't think Charlotte wins it. I think Charlotte is kind of a waste for the first ever women's Money in the Bank, because one, it's kind of predictable because Charlotte just wins everything, and of course she's going to go down in history as the first ever women's Money in the Bank winner. So I think it's a bit too predictable. Also, I don't think she needs the briefcase. She's just come out of a program with the champion that got interrupted by everyone else in this match. So put her back into that program with the champion. And also, Charlotte's already got the pedigree being Ric Flair's daughter, but she's also got the credentials to basically go up to Shane McMahon and say, I want a title shot. Like, I don't feel like there's any justification for giving her Money in the Bank. Also, she's just turned face, and I always feel like Money in the Bank works best on a heel. So I don't know if they're going to go with 2 heels for winning both Money in the Bank briefcases, but I feel like heels work best with Money in the Bank. And so the new unproven talent, and that's what I've gone with. I have actually gone with 2 heels and the lesser proven talent, which might spoil who I've gone for Money in the Bank male, but hey ho, we'll get there. So for me, in the women's match, I think Carmella. I think there's a few reasons why Carmella's going to win. Oh, I didn't eliminate everyone else. Tamina, I don't think really has much chance of being a megastar because of WWE's attitude towards her dad now. And also, I just don't see her as that star. She's like the intimidating foe that the smaller babyface can overcome. As what she is, basically. That's what Nia Jax is going to end up being once they get over this sort of semi-push they've tried giving her for a while. So I don't see Tamina being that person. And Becky Lynch is two-face. Not two-faced. She is too much of a face. I can't see her being opportunistic and cashing in. Faces have done it successfully. A couple of times they've announced ahead of time when they're going to cash in and, yada, yada, yada. But I think it works best on a heel, and that is why I'm going with Carmella. Aside from that, she's also got James Ellsworth, who can easily influence the result of this match. I can't see this match ending without James Ellsworth costing someone it. Probably Becky Lynch, because there's rumblings of them having a little micro feud where she probably ends up beating him up. So, because they're not going to have men beating women on TV in 2017, even in a fair wrestling match that isn't really fair. Becky has the advantage. But they're not going to have that, so it's going to be a one-sided feud if they have that feud. But I feel like it'll probably cost Becky the chance to win it, and get some heat on himself and on Carmella. Also, I can see her having James Ellsworth carry the briefcase around for her. Carry on the sort of lackey thing they've got going. I can see that. So everything points to me to Carmella having the briefcase and winning it and cashing in heelishly at some point. So that's my prediction. The game went with Becky Lynch, so there's our first disagreement. Anyway, next match. Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. I personally think Jinder Mahal keeps the title here. Again, it probably won't be a clean win. My idea with Rusev would be terrific at this point. Even if he doesn't do the other bits, maybe he could insert himself into this match, you know, and have a rage over the fact. Especially if they don't put this match on last, I feel like something like that could happen with Rusev, because they probably want to finish the show on a clean result. But if it doesn't go on last, I mean, shows have finished without clean results plenty of times in the past pay-per-views, so who knows? Even if it goes on last, it could happen. But I'd love to see something like that, but I feel like through some underhanded method, Jinder's going to keep the title, and that's just my instinct. There's rumours that John Cena's going to beat Jinder Mahal for his 17th world title. I don't know how true that is. They've just bigged up the fact that he's coming back as a free agent, which to me implies his next feud is going to be on Raw. Because otherwise, why call him a free agent? Why big up that idea if you're then going to keep him on the show he was on anyway? That doesn't make any sense. So I feel like he's going to head over to Raw for at least one feud before then maybe coming back. So he could still just go to Raw, have one feud, come back and win the WWE title. But we'll see. But I just feel like right now, Randy Orton's not the right guy to be winning that world title. I feel like he needs to drop out of the scene after this match a little bit. Even if he gets screwed over, and that usually implies there's going to be another match. I'd love to see Jinder win clean. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think they've built him up enough. They've built him and the Singh brothers as a unit up enough for him to hold on to the WWE title. But him as a singles wrestler with no help, everyone's still got it in the back of their mind. Hang on, this is that 3MB guy that was jobbing a hell of a lot 2 months ago. Like, you know, I think it's too fresh, that. So I don't think he can win clean. But I'd like him to. I think he'll retain the title. That's my official prediction. Randy Orton was the game's predicted winner. So there's another disagreement. That's 2. And on to the main event, which is, well, maybe the main event, I don't know, but that's how it's being presented on the website. It's at the top of the list, and it's probably how it's being presented on the card. There's an awful lot of build-up going into this men's Money in the Bank match, and they've got a lot of big stars in it, so it's understandable. So, it's the men's Money in the Bank match. Right, so let's go through everyone, and let's eliminate some people. So, Sami Zayn, no. He's a face. I heard a really good idea pitched of this new thing where he's overanalyzing things. If he won the Money in the Bank briefcase and then overanalyzed every cash-in opportunity, so he never actually got round to doing it. And he could potentially go round and have to cash in next year at Money in the Bank. However, I just don't see Sami Zayn as, one, I don't see him as WWE Championship material. I mean, I might get some grief for that, but I just genuinely don't. Like, I know he's very popular. I just don't think he's that good, that look, that anything really, except for he's kind of popular. But I just don't think he's at the sort of Daniel Bryan level where the crowd can smash the ceiling for him. He's popular, he's not that popular. I also don't see him as someone that WWE see as a champion, as a main event champion, at any time in the future. So sorry to burst everyone's bubble, but until that happens, until I see it, I won't believe that that's ever going to happen. Even if he wins Money in the Bank, I'm going to predict a failed cash-in at some point, because it's just, I just don't see him in that spot. Okay, let's work through the faces first. AJ Styles, same as I said for Charlotte, does not need the briefcase to get a title match. I mean, especially after WrestleMania, where he fought Shane McMahon, and he obviously gained Shane McMahon's respect in that match, and vice versa, I assume. You know, in storyline, they'll have gained each other's respect because it was a terrific match. It was a close-fought one. I feel like he could basically just go and say, I want to be next in line for Jinder. And he would be. Or Orton. Even if Orton wins, they can do a face versus face match. You know, so I feel like AJ Styles is a bit above the briefcase. And I know people above the briefcase have done it before. John Cena's won it when he really didn't need to. And I thought that was a bad decision. But they filled that one with just former world champions anyway, which was just a daft decision in general, I think. Randy Orton won it when he realistically probably didn't need to. So, you know, there are quite a few examples, but I think the Money in the Bank briefcase is best used on people that aren't at that step yet to take that step up. Aren't at that stage yet. The Royal Rumble is the guaranteed title match that you win when you're already kind of there. You know, and it's just to get you back into that. It's just to create a story to get you into that main event of WrestleMania. It's not really to make a star from nothing. Not from nothing, obviously, but from lower down. It's to cement a star for a main event spot of WrestleMania. I think there's a big difference between how the two are booked as a general rule, or how they should be booked anyway. So I don't think AJ Styles is going to win it. Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't think is going to win. Two reasons. One, he got the briefcase on SmackDown. When is the person who got the briefcase on the last segment relating to Money in the Bank on the last show before the pay-per-view ever actually won it? I mean, it probably has happened. Someone's going to be like, well, actually, it happened this year and it was this person. But as a general rule, no. He has now got a picture on WWE.com of him holding the briefcase, and that means he's not getting another picture of him on WWE.com holding the briefcase. They've already taken that picture. Why would they take it again? Secondly, the briefcase would not fit Shinsuke Nakamura. His entrance would be ruined by him having to lug a briefcase to the ring with him. His whole persona would not deal well with having this opportunity on him. He strikes me as the sort of competitor who would want to battle people until he has established himself as next in line for the title, which you could argue you've done by winning Money in the Bank, but it's sort of like a guarantee you're not going to be the #1 contender challenging one-on-one. You're going to have to kind of sneak in and be like, hey, peekaboo, I'm taking your title. I mean, John Cena, Rob Van Dam, they have said, I'll have my title match here and then, please. And there's a possibility he'll do that. But also, let's not forget, as big a star as he was in NXT and in Japan, he's very new to the main roster, to the bulk of the WWE fandom, to the WWE universe. I hate that term, but I hate the overuse of that term. I don't hate the term, I hate how much they say it. So I feel like he's not the guy, not this year. He could possibly do it in the future, but I feel like right now there's too many things against it. So it's going to be a heel in my opinion. I don't think any of the three faces are winning it. So the heels in the match. Who've we even got? Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens needs to focus on being the United States champion. Elevating that belt, which he's already doing a great job of. I mean, let's face it, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles is a dream match for any belt, any company in the world. So the US title seems important just from that. And Kevin Owens can do to the United States Championship what John Cena did to it. Not in the same way, but he can make it a top belt. The same way, in my opinion, The Miz makes it the Intercontinental title a top belt that there's pride in holding, because he is very proud of being that champion. Kevin Owens is embracing being United States champion and is very proud of having that belt. So I think keep him focused on that. I don't think this is the time. And again, Kevin Owens is a former Universal Champion over on Raw. I don't feel like he needs a briefcase to elevate himself back up into the WWE title scene. I think he just needs to drop the US title and move up, kind of thing. I think that's a natural story progression. I've actually forgotten who one of the people in this match is. That's terrible.
This match has taken so much out of this guy. He's not going to give up.
Haha, okay, Dolph Ziggler. Well, he's not winning it. Mr. Forgettable himself, he's not winning it. So, yeah, Dolph Ziggler's not winning it. Let's be honest, this isn't 2012 or whatever year it was when he won it. I think it was 2011 he actually won the Money in the Bank match, and he cashed in 2012. He's not the same guy. He's not anything like us over. He's not anything like us into it. He's hedging his bets, doing other things as well. He's realised he's not the guy to smash through that glass ceiling too many times, and has kind of accepted his role a little bit. Dolph Ziggler's not winning it. I don't know what to say. He's less likely than Sami Zayn, in my opinion, and Sami Zayn's highly unlikely. So, that leaves Baron Corbin, which I kind of gave away while talking about the women's Money in the Bank match. But yeah, I think Baron Corbin wins here, because he's not brand new to the roster. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, was it WrestleMania 32? So a year and a quarter ago. So he's been on the main roster for a little while now. He's already won a big match, because they put that over as quite a big win when he first did it. He's been featured prominently on SmackDown. He's a big guy. He's kind of got the look, except for the sad belly button. But, that's just... It's understandable, because, he used to be a lot bigger and he dropped a load of weight, so fair play to the guy. But he's got the look. He looks fearsome. He's a bad guy, so he can cut that corner and cash in on a weakened opponent at some point. Maybe John Cena, literally as soon as Cena gets his 17th world title win, and, he's broken the record, and then Baron Corbin comes and ruins it. It'd be amazing. It would be utterly amazing. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of Baron Corbin winning this. Because don't forget, they don't have to cash in for a year, so you can carry on building him. He doesn't have to cash in tomorrow. He doesn't have to cash in immediately. So if you don't think he's WWE Championship material right now, well, could he be within a year? Yes, look at him. You know, he's sending him on a little bit of a win streak, blitzing through a load of mid-card faces, and then starting to pick up wins against you Randy Ortons and your AJ Styles and people like that. And all of a sudden, he's a big deal on SmackDown, and rightly so. I think he deserves it, personally. I really like Baron Corbin, so that's my pick. The game pick Shinsuke Nakamura, which I don't know. I don't agree with, but as we discussed earlier in the video, I think the ultimate winner, the best possible winner they could book, could be Rusev. So hopefully that happens. Who knows? Stranger things have happened, but it'd be pretty risky. But SmackDown is the place that takes risk. Jinder Mahal is the WWE champion on SmackDown. Let me just remind you of that. Last pay-per-view, the #1 contenders for championships were Jinder Mahal, and for the tag team championships were the Fashion Police, Breezango. I forgot what they were referred to as for a second. My memory's not doing well today. So let's not count anything out. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love it to. But my official final prediction is Baron Corbin to win the men's Money in the Bank. So quick recap. I think, personally, Naomi and the Usos are going to retain their championships, and Jinder Mahal, actually. I don't think any titles are going to change hands at this pay-per-view, which it does happen. It's not like a guaranteed thing that a title will change hands. Carmella for women's Money in the Bank winner, and Baron Corbin for the men's Money in the Bank winner. Show that commitment to keep moving forward into this, quote, new era with two unproven, not former champions winning Money in the Bank, and almost guaranteeing within the next year we're going to have two brand new champions on that list of 50 WWE champions and however many women's champions you want to say, because it might only be a few if you're only counting SmackDown ones, or if you go back through the whole lineage, obviously there's a lot. But you're adding two brand new names, almost guaranteed, to both of those lists, which is great. So let me know in the comment section down below who you think's winning what matches and why. What you think of my Rusev idea. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. I'm going to try and get these predictions videos every pay-per-view from now on, and a pay-per-view review after the event. Hopefully the day after, but with me being in the UK, timings might not be ideal, and I do work on Mondays, so I can't guarantee it'll be the day after, but soon after the pay-per-view, I will try to get a review up as well to let you know what I thought of the show. So subscribe if you're interested in all that, and share with your friends if you think they would enjoy, if they're into their pro wrestling. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been Abaza, you've been amazing, and I will see you next time.